All right. Good morning, guys. PTOD pep talk of the day. Today we're talking about therapy animals. We're talking about the use of animals to make humans feel loved, accepted, and relaxed. We're going to talk about Hayden's personal story with a service animal. Oh yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna give you guys some statistics behind it. So my personal experience with my very first experience with a service animal would be Hayden with his cat Mimi. For a long time there was an obsession with cats, and we weren't sure if Hayden's obsession with cats had to do with the fact that he was just obsessed with cats and he was going to move through the obsession, because if you guys know anything about obsessions in kids on the spectrum, they can come and go like the weather, like the sun, up and down. Hi guys. And we just weren't sure. Well, it went on for months and months and months. He started to name this cat that he wanted, and he's like, when are we gonna go get Mimi cat? When are we gonna go bring her home? She's waiting for me. All these things he was talking about this animal, and he got very tuned into the fact that we were going to go to a shelter, and yay, yeah, he got it in his head that we were going to go to a shelter and adopt a cat. So we went one Saturday morning, and he was very much excited to go visit the animals in the outdoor. It was an outdoor shelter in California, because where we were living in California was super warm, and so it was really easy for them to keep the animals outside. Anyways, we walked in through the gates, and the lady was like, oh, we have this fluffy, you know, cat that loves to be held, and we have this cat, and we have that cat, and she's trying to show Hayden all of these animals. And as we walked through the shelter, the cats were rubbing on his legs, and he was not giving a mind to any of them. And he headed straight across the shelter, and there was a tiny little kitty underneath a tree with a runny nose. And the shelter lady was like, oh, she just came out of foster care. She was feral. We're not really sure how she's going to interact with other humans. And Hayden goes, that's my kitty. That's Mimi cat. And I looked at my partner, and he looked at me, and I was like, okay, that's the cat. And he went over, and the lady was very hesitant, the worker that was in the shelter. She's like, oh, be careful, she might not want to be picked up. And he went right over, scooped her up. She put her little paws over his shoulder, and he turned toe and walked out of the shelter with her. And all of the shelter care people were like, they were amazed. And in that moment, I kind of saw how two souls can come together, an animal and a person, and how they were meant for each other. They were both in times of their lives where they needed someone to build them up. They were both in traumatic times of their lives where they were trying to better themselves. Mimi had come out of a feral cat situation and was trying to be a home cat. Hayden was coming through an expressionary speech delay and just some of the toughest growth spots in his autism. And they melded. And what followed in the weeks of bringing Mimi cat home, I can only state as pure magic. I guess we consider Mimi a pet therapy. She helped Hayden to be able to sit at the table and eat breakfast without being nervous. She was a mostly outside cat, but she would come home for breakfast to sit with him, and in the evenings to put him to bed. Hayden used to have really hard bedtimes. He would cry, and he was very nervous. And that's not the case with Mimi cat. With Mimi cat, she's there for him, and I can't even tell you guys the reaction. I don't know if you've ever worked with therapy animals, but to see someone physically relax because an animal is with them is amazing. He could be having the worst day ever, and he comes home and Mimi cat's there for him. Pet therapy is like a broad term that includes, animal-assisted therapies and other animal-assisted activities. A lot of children on the spectrum enjoy riding horses. That's a form of pet therapy. It's very therapeutic for them. The rhythm, horses themselves are a super empathetic, loving animal that doesn't get spooked by children with special needs. And I can tell you the few times that Hayden has gone horseback riding, it's been really, really great for him. There's organizations that fund horse rides for children on the spectrum or children with special needs. And it's not a coincidence that it's a huge, big thing that happens all over the United States. It really works. These kids get a healing from being with the animals, from being out in nature, from having that bond with another creature that can be patient with them. People who are recovering from cancer or have had a massive heart surgery can feel the benefits of having pet therapy. You guys know a lot of hospitals, they have therapy dogs. I've seen therapy cats. Heck, I've seen therapy lizards, people. Okay, animals in general are super healing. It's no coincidence that, you know, I'm going through a little bit of a tumultuous time in my life and I want to adopt all the guinea pigs. Listen, I'm 2 pigs over what's considered normal. Let's be honest. And I'm gonna get a tortoise and a bunny rabbit and all the animals because I love animals, because taking care of these animals lowers my blood pressure, helps me feel relaxed, is a form of meditation. Animal-based therapy work is magical. If you guys ever go into a children's chemo unit and you see these animals interact with the children, it's no joke. When you interact with an animal, your dopamine serotonin wash in your brain increases, allowing your body to feel relaxed and have a sympathetic and a parasympathetic response to your environment in an appropriate, positive manner, allowing your body to focus on healing. There is a ton of science behind the benefits of pets. When an elderly person is without their partner, or perhaps they are, you know, living alone, it's often brought up that they could have a pet. A cat, a dog, a chinchilla. I once worked with a woman who had a pet chinchilla. It was like her best friend. It's often joked that, you know, older ladies are crazy cat ladies. They have all these cats. Well, there's a reason that people are drawn to certain animals. There's a reason people choose to, for lack of a better term, collect the fluffy fur babies. It's because they are emotionally healing. Companion animals. Hayden's Mimi cat is a certified service animal, so she can fly with him. She can go out into public with him. And that's a really great advantage for us. When we moved into this apartment here, or this home that we were renting, yes, exactly. Stroking a cat has been proven to lower blood pressure. Absolutely. Dogs, cats, lizards, all animals. We were moving in here and they said no cats, and I said, well, we won't be able to sign the lease because my son has a service animal. And the lady was like, oh, a dog. And I was like, no, cat. And at first she was a little taken back, but after educating her and then showing her talking to her about Hayden's daily routine with Mimi cat, she totally understands. Our landlord lives a little kitty corner to us, and she's like, oh, I saw Mimi cat this morning. She was outside. Then I saw Hayden, and I saw them playing in the chalk. And we were able to gently kind of educate her about the benefits of Mimi cat as an ESA for Hayden. Her being an emotional support animal means that Mimi cat is there for Hayden when he's feeling emotionally unstable, when he's having a hard time digesting life. And it's a real thing. I mean, Hayden was able to forego anxiety meds because his cat calms him down so much. Companion animals are really great in improving heart health, lowering blood pressure, regulating heart rate during stressful situations. There was a study done, and I was looking it up last night, guys, in 2002. The researchers measured the changes in heart rate and blood pressure among people who had a dog or a cat compared to those who didn't own an animal. And the participants who were under stress performing like timed math tests or timed English tests, people with the dog or the cat had a lower resting heart rate and a lower blood pressure than those who were non-pet owners. It's just like simple little research like that really proves that people who have pets, it's more than just owning an animal. It's a form of therapy. Animals are amazing, guys. Crying your eyes on animals, or they are. You guys are just tuning in for the PTOD this morning. We're talking about the healing benefits of animals. All animals, birds, fish, they say you get the same benefits from hugging a dog or cat and like petting them as you would watching a fish tank if you're a fish collector. I have a friend that collects tropical fish. And man, their tanks are massive in their house and they are so relaxing to sit in front of. Super relaxing. And I can tell you that they also have cats and dogs, but the fish tank theory also works. Hayden had a fish before he had a cat. Unfortunately, he fed the fish pizza. Didn't end very well. That's all I can say. So we moved on to a cat, and I do the feeding, even though he does try and share his ham and his pizza. Let's see, Mama Mobe says, my animal companion is my cat, Koopa. He's attached to me and vice versa. He lays with me at night and on the couch, and it soothes my day away. Aw, Koopa. ESA and service animals are very different. Any animal can be an ESA, absolutely. Service animal are super trained. Yep, we would have to go to, I think there's the college in Northern Washington here. We would have to go there to have Mimi actually be trained as a service animal, but we just have her listed as an ESA at this point. I feel like she could totally be a service animal though. She could totally, like, we could host, and I've kind of played with the idea, but it's just like a little too much right now. Getting her certified as a service animal and hosting get-togethers with other children on the spectrum, because when she gets in a room with children on the spectrum, she's actually drawn to them. And I feel like that's very unique for her. She's not skittish. We often call her the cat dog. Because when Hayden has friends over that are also on the spectrum, she is right there with them. Getting like in their face, rubbing them, you know, interrupting their stims if they're shaking their hands. She gets in their lap and all of a sudden, you know, they're not stimming anymore, they're petting the cat. It's very cool. But it is, like Alaska said here, it's extremely hard work and a lot of studious personification to get an animal trained as a service animal, but any animal can be an ESA. Good point, thank you. Love the haters. Hater in the feed. Hater in the feed. We know what you need. We gonna send some hearts to get your day on the right start. Hater in the feed. We had to have one this morning, guys. I love you guys. Children's exposure to a companion or an ESA, an emotional support animal, can help ease anxiety. There's several studies that said the children from 3 to 6 have 2 different doctor visits. One's with an animal, one without an animal. And the measurement of blood pressure and pulse and test anxiety and all those things were lowered because of the animal's presence. Hayden has gotten into a time in his life with his schooling where he's going to be taking a lot of tests. And so we've had to really evaluate if we were gonna, like, how are we gonna do this, because he wants his cat with him. So I'm currently working with the school district on how we're gonna do that. Because I really do believe that if Mimi Cat is with him, he can get anything done. So true. The findings that they did with this study with small children says that provides that you can make a person feel more relaxed and decrease their stress in social situations. Yeah, so we got the letter for the diagnosis. Now we just need to get the doctor to sign off on it. Exactly, Alaska. Pets and stress. I want to address this. Do you guys ever feel like just being out in nature, being near a river, hearing birds sing and those sort of things bring you back to yourself? This weekend I went running outside for the first time in a long time, 18 months, almost 19 months. And it's springtime here in Washington, and I can tell you the sound of the birds and watching the horses run and seeing these animals brought me to a very happy place. I would bear to say that animals in general, just visually watching them, allow you to have some form of healing. It was really great. I went and ran past a horse pasture, and they have like several different type of horses. I'm not sure this one horse is like very furry. He has long fur. He came up to the fence. I was able to pet him. I was just in such a better mood after seeing all and hearing all these animals on a warm spring day. Not a coincidence. A large German study collected pet information from dog, horse, fish, you guys name it, lizards, from over 9,000 people at 2 different times, in 1996 and in 2001. The survey included a number of like health and economic and labor issues. It covered a ton of bases. Researchers found that people who said that they had a pet in both 1996 and 2001 had fewer doctor visits, followed by people who acquired the pet in 2001 only. The group had a better outcome in 2001 than they would have in 96 before owning a pet. So there's all these cool little studies that show the calming effect a pet has over your whole lifetime. My therapist was a wet nose. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. And the feet, where did you get the spoon necklace? Everybody wants to know. So Alaska Yoga Nick, okay? We need to know. We need to know. Everybody was asking. So, side note. So, you guys, I had a question when I said I was going to talk about pets today. Someone messaged me, but what about pets and allergies? Research on allergies and asthma is mixed, okay? Some say owning a pet earlier on helps with asthma. Some say that it doesn't matter if you own a pet or not. The child's going to develop asthma with whatever genetic parameters they have. I can tell you that I did have a cat allergy prior to owning Mimi. For some reason, it's gone away. And I don't take any Zyrtec or anything, but she's also an outside cat. She's not inside a lot. She doesn't have dander, and she's not like all over our stuff all the time. So I guess you just have to do a little bit of self-research in that and use your family dynamics to decide what kind of pet. But if you are allergic to a dog or cat, there's always tortoises, small pet rescues. I will implore you guys to say the last point I want to make. If you're going to give an animal a home. Oh, you're bending your own. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to message you on that. Bendy spoons. I love my spoon necklace. The last thing I want to say to you guys today about pets is that pets are healing. Pets are a wonderful way to lighten your load emotionally. And if you are going to seek out a pet, please do so in adoption. Please adopt a pet from a rescue. Do your research. Know that it's not necessarily better to have a kitten over a cat that's 3 years old and deserves a home. It's not better to have a puppy over a dog that would love you the same, if not more, because they've been through something. And they have that emotional fortitude to help you through what you're going through. So I implore you to research adoption from a rescue if you're looking for an animal. They have small animal rescues that are dedicated just to guinea pigs and rabbits and tortoises and small lizards. They have larger rescues that are dedicated to horses and pigs and cows and large dogs. They're out there, believe me, and they're awesome and they're doing work. And if you're looking for somewhere to volunteer or to donate to, I know that those organizations are always in need. So I am adopting a couple guinea pigs, I'm not gonna lie, from a small organization here in Washington here in a few weeks. The male guinea pigs that will be born from, I think it was somewhat of like 90 guinea pigs were dropped at this rescue, and most of them are pregnant females. And so I contacted the organization this weekend and I said, whatever males are born, I would love to take a couple of them off your hands. So we will be having some new babies here in our home in a few weeks. So we're very, very excited. Anyways, guys, that's my alarm. I gotta go.